What the hell is going on here? Can you please come and sit down so we can discuss this outfit?
You don't like my suit?
We're working on it.
You don't like it? Look at my... I still got the...
You gotta get rid of that squeak.
Got the tags. He's a bad kid. I stole him, tried to return him. They wouldn't take him back.
Riley, take everything Kylen said and delete it.
If I should take out my 401k because I was concerned that...
About a market crash.
And then
I informed Kylen, I don't think you have a 401k. What questions do you have about savings?
None. I don't save. Kenda, you look lovely today.
Thank you.
I was using punctuation. That's where the period went, but I replaced the period with the subtle.
No, it wasn't.
Subtle.
Not subtle. You're not subtle.
Jeez. So you're like holding back tears right now. Am I being too intense? What's the only thing you can actually see when you're in absolute darkness? It's the only thing you could see, no matter how small.
Light. I'm glad you learned how to budget.
I learned how to budget. Kenda's tears. Dude, Riley, delete everything now.
All right. Bye, Riley.
Bye, Riley. Oh, God, Riley. Oh, God.
First of all, your orange homeless shoes, tie without a
It's got a thing.
shirt with a collar.
I don't need a collar. Wait, I have one actually. Popping it.
Just such a dork.
You hired me. This is a reflection of you.
This
is a reflection of you. Look at me. I'm a reflection of her. Don't like what you see?
You're not a reflection of me.
I'm a reflection of you.
Yet.
You don't like my suit?
We're working on it.
You don't like it? Look at my fucking... I still got the...
You gotta get rid of that squeak.
Got the tag still. Looks good.
I don't know what to do with
Why does it like fold over like I got boobies?
Anyways, we have things to talk about, Kylen. Let's get on.
I feel like this is for man cleavage.
The people need real information, not about your moves.
You don't think they're real?
God.
All right. What's up?
So I would like you to share with everybody what you came to me with yesterday asking me about.
I came to you. I thought it was a safe place, which it apparently is not. She's a cruel woman, folks. Cruelty.
Oh my God. Just go for it.
I was bamboozled. I was misled.
By what? Social media.
By social media. They did me dirty.
Okay.
And I was just curious. Okay.
I don't want to laugh at you because
You want to laugh at me.
No,
you want to rub it in. You want to shame
I don't.
me.
I genuinely am concerned for young people. And it is funny, but I know it's also not funny.
This is funny. This is serious matter. This is serious. This is business time, Kenda. Who? I'm wearing a suit.
Well, yeah.
I asked if I should take out my 401k because I was concerned that
about a market crash.
And then
I informed Kylen, I don't think you have a 401k.
Because she's cheap.
That is not true.
I might have thought that my social security was my 401k or something like that.
I am so confused.
They made it seem like it was me. But it wasn't.
Right. You don't have a 401k, nor have you ever had a job that has a 401k. And you would know if you had a job that had a 401k. Because when you have an employment contract, usually, basically they'll say like we match the 401k if they're a bigger company. Most bigger companies, like mid-sized to larger companies, have 401ks because they have more money to do that.
I worked at a brewery where they did that, and I opted out.
Did you?
Yeah, I opted out.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about why you would do that.
Because I was living in the back of a car with my volleyball partner at the time, and we knew it was just a job to have a job because COVID money was too good, and we had too much time, and we actually started hurting ourselves because we were playing so much. It was like 8 hours of volleyball every day.
Okay.
And so we were like, we can't play this much volleyball. We're damaging ourselves. We're like, we should get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I got a job.
Okay.
At a brewery, offered me the 401k. I was like, no, thank you. I won't be here that long. And I was right.
Do you understand that even if you're somewhere for a short period of time and you put money into that 401k,
it's mine forever?
Yes.
Oh, I figured there was like, but if you leave us, it's not yours.
So I want you to understand what a 401k is, because I think probably a lot of young people don't understand what that is.
I understand what it is, but for the people at home.
Right, because you understand. You want me to explain it?
For them.
Okay. So it's a holding like bucket for you. Imagine that. And so you have basically, it'll be invested for you through the business.
Yeah.
And you get 401k is actually like the tax code or something of it. That's why it's called that.
I was going to say, it's not that much money anymore, is it?
But understand, so you put money into this, you can go from different job to different job, and that 401k will still be yours. And the money stays in there. And what happens is it compounds over time. And the compounding, for example, if you put 140, like say 140,000 into a 401k over 40 years, you put a little bit in, all that, right? That would probably turn into about 700 and something thousand.
That's pretty cool.
Which means you're making like over $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's that compounding interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the longer you keep it in, the more it compounds.
Okay.
And if you pull it out before you're 59 and a half, you get a 10% penalty. So you were talking about pulling out your 401k that you don't have. But you would have been penalized 10%. And then anything you made on it, you would have to pay an income tax on. So you end up, say it's like, okay, for every dollar pulled out, you're actually maybe paying like 20, 15, 20 more dollars.
Who gets the money?
The taxes, the tax man. But if you wait, that doesn't happen, right?
So if I never pull it out, it never happens.
If you wait until after that age, like
once I'm 50, there's no
59 and a half.
15. Why the fuck half? What are they doing?
It's just a thing. A lot of people,
I'm 5 3/4.
A lot of people wait until like 65 because it compounds even more, and then you can walk away with even more money.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think I'd live to see 30. So,
all right,
we're doing good.
But I mean, I just want you to understand, it's like, I think a lot of people are like YOLO, which I mean, I do a bit of that too. You know, we like to, Brian and I like to have fun.
Well, where'd you have Christmas? Where'd you guys have Christmas?
We had Christmas at home.
Where'd you have Christmas?
Before Christmas.
Where would you go?
The Galapagos.
Yeah. Where Santa Claus lives, right?
And then the BBI. It was rough.
Yeah.
There's that.
There was that.
Right. That could have been put into stock and but we max out our 401k every year. So there's a certain amount that you max out.
Of course.
Every year we do that.
I know.
You knew that, right? Anyways, I think it's important. I think that our high schools, our schools, we talked about this yesterday, they don't teach financial literacy. They teach you mathematics and all these different things, but they don't teach you how to save, how to open a checking account, how to invest, credit cards. I mean, how much do you know about credit cards?
I know. Don't do it. Bad idea.
Well, but do you know what an APR is?
No, don't do it. Bad idea.
Yeah. So like that's the percentage you pay every year on your credit, like whatever you take out, right?
Yeah,
so if you pay the minimum every month, you're paying interest. The APR is the interest. You're paying that every single month. You're paying interest on the money you borrowed. So like for our credit cards, what I do is I pay them off every single month. I don't pay any interest, but I use it as a tool.
Build your credit?
Well, not only to build credit, but I also use it as a tool for the rewards. So then I save all these points from the money I spend every month. And then I take that and I'll go to a hotel and I use the points for that. So, you know, sometimes there's...
But you're fiscally responsible.
Yeah, but that took time to learn. And I think that my parents did not teach me. Actually, Brian was really good with money. And so when we started dating, he was like, what is going on here? And he had to teach me a lot about, and I was like your age, he had to teach me a lot about finances and how to save, how to put money away for our retirement. a rainy day, to how to invest it.
Don't use credit cards.
Don't
be like Kenda, you guys. She's addicted. Maxes them out.
I do not.
She gets high off of it.
I don't have a limit.
Control.
So how do you max that out?
You're crazy, lady. Okay. So use a credit card, pay it off, watch out for APR, build your credit, take the little points you made, and then go to a hotel where they trick you to spend even more money. Then you got to open up another credit card, max that out. Then you got to sell your children's organs just to pay off the credit card.
Kylen.
Yeah.
It's not all a performance.
Okay.
Life is more in depth than that.
Look. I am not an adept at this fiscal responsibility. I would be like, hey, get a fridge. Stop eating out.
Yeah.
Take that money, save it. And personally, and I'm not the guy you take advice from, right? But it really seems like I'd rather live a life where I don't regret it. And being somebody who just helps somebody else achieve their dreams sucks. And like this right now, like what we're doing. Thank you for the huge help with everything. Thank God you and Brian have like the capital to just get this started, right? But this is like a dream of mine. This is like, or at least a passion project, right? We need to be creative. If we fail, it's on us. And if we win, it's on us. And if we win, we don't make someone else richer. Right?
Right.
Like we reap the rewards of it. And to me, I would, right? Don't take advice from me. Don't take advice from me. I'd rather put my money into me.
Yeah.
Into yes, you got to take care of the health. Yes, you got to pay the bills. Once that's taken care of, food, bills paid, right? You're good. Rent, you're good. Put that money into some savings or essentially put it into you. What are your dreams?
Here's the thing is that
you would recommend investments.
I think that I feel like it's important to be diversified. And I see, there are a few things. I'll start with like Nolan. He's 24, right? He's almost 24, my oldest. And he does not have a lot of savings. He doesn't have a lot of money. He's kind of like just living YOLO. He's traveling the world. He's creating content. I think it's Jack and Nolan so far, or Nolan so far. I'll give you a little plug. And they're trying to build some content that way and get paid as they travel and show budget travel and things like that. I think that's great. He's trying something. He's taking a risk, And when you're young, you can do that.
Yeah.
And then Hunter is right now walking the Camino in Spain with his friend, and you can do that on a budget, right? But the thing about it is that with them, I feel like I didn't teach them to be fiscally responsible in the same way I've taught Parker. Because I didn't have the same skills when they were little, right? And so Hunter, if he has money in his account, it burns a hole in his pocket. He spends it all instantly. Like, he does not know how to save. The reason he has any savings is because Brian and I made sure that he could spend half, put half away. And so that when he turned 18, it's like, here, you have some money because you put that half away. And I think he really appreciates now that he has that money, and the like instant gratification thing. If he would have spent it all here, he wouldn't be having this experience walking the Camino, right? So I think you have to think about life kind of like that, right? Where we will go out there and we'll do it all. We've been doing World Cup, we travel. I want something, I'll get it. And we also make sure that we max out our 401k, that we invest a certain amount, like in real estate, we invest a certain amount in our stocks. We have diversified stocks. And so that we can mitigate some of the risk over time and not have everything, like, for example, in tech, right? Everybody's worried about the AI bubble, just like we had the .com bubble. And so don't put all your eggs in one basket, basically is what I'm saying. And so I think you're kind of at that age where you've had these experiences. You played volleyball, you partied, you did all these things, you've traveled. Now it's time to go, okay, what are my priorities? Well, my health is my priority. I put money into my health. I put money into my business. I put money into my kids. I put money into all these different, that's what I do. You have to figure out, like, what are your priorities? Is your priority moving out of the house in the shed? If that's your priority, then you need to go, okay, in this town, maybe I need a roommate. If I'm going to live by myself, this is what it needs to look like. Because to live by yourself in this town, I mean, a basic studio is like $2,400 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is just pure insanity, right? So that's why a lot of people live together, because it's a lot cheaper to live and have 3 people in a house than it is just by yourself. So you have to figure out what that looks like for you. But if that's your top priority, then you should be putting money away for that every month. If your top priority is like, I want to go travel and see these things, then do that. Obviously, right now you're still in a place where it's kind of like hand them out, right? Like you got to feed yourself. You need to drive, have your car, all of that. You want to go play volleyball and you have your shed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I get that. But what is next? What are your goals for next year? You got to move towards it. You got to work towards it. And that means maybe not having 1 a.m. Taco Bell.
Yeah. That's hard.
That's hard.
It's hard, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's like, just sucks. It just sucks.
Right.
It's like, I would definitely like to go home, cook a steak.
Right.
That's in my fridge.
Yeah.
And make a nice little like yam. But instead, I deal with certain elements that are asinine.
Right.
And basically make that such a fucking debacle that I basically don't have dinner until everyone else has had dinner.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you don't want to share the same space.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's one way to put it. I have no one else to blame but myself for like the current predicament that I'm in, because I made these choices, right?
Right.
To come back and whatnot. But, ultimately I am sitting in a circumstance that's just like, just cascading, not out of control, but it just keeps going. It's like, oh no, not only am I not eating healthy, I'm not eating at the right time. Not only that, but I'm spending more money than I would. It's like, I'm eating unhealthy. I'm eating at the wrong time. I'm not eating what I want to eat. I'm not eating when I want to eat.
Right.
And then everything's fucked. I feel guilty about eating breakfast in the morning.
Because I compound.
Exactly. It fucking compounds.
Just like your money compounds.
Where's my 401k now? Damn you, Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's hard,
Yeah.
The boys are like in their 18 to 24, right? So they're in that stage of like, they don't have to be that serious at this moment.
No.
But you're moving towards that next stage of what, like, if you don't start now, what are your 40s going to look like? That, and I feel like there's moments where it's like a few steps forward, a few steps back through your 30s. Like I feel progress. Now I'm not feeling as successful. But there was a point where it was like, all of a sudden, all that work that I put in, I started to see what that, how that manifested.
You just saw your returns.
Yeah, but it didn't happen overnight.
No.
And at the same time, like I felt like I wasn't moving forward. And when I looked back after 6 years, when I hit around 40, I went, oh, wow, actually I did make a ton of progress. And I didn't see that when I was in it, because you're kind of in that survival mode,
Yeah, that's precisely it. That I'm in survival mode. I have to survive. And I'm too busy surviving to flourish. It's like, yeah, I could make these investments, but like, what happens if anything happened to my car?
Right.
Like, my buddy hit me up for today, and he was like, I'm so sorry to ask this. Can I borrow $200? Like, yo, you have Zelle? That was the only question. I'm like, do you have Zelle? Right? Don't care about getting that money back. I'm sure he'll pay me back. Don't care.
Right.
Do not fucking care. To me, I didn't feel like I was endangering myself any further than I am.
Yeah.
Like in a sense of financial stability or security, whatever you want to put it as, right?
It doesn't make a huge difference in your life.
No.
Right.
Because I'm already fucked. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, something happens to my car. Goodbye, car.
Right.
You know, oh no, something else happens. Oh no is the end of my reaction too. Oh no.
Yeah, but the difference for you now is that you have support.
I do have much more support than I did before, but it's it doesn't. I agree that the little things compound. I understand that, but I don't have time for the little things or place for the little things. I don't have room for the little things. It's like literally my food consumption is out of my control. Not actually, but the traditional plan. Like when I say food, where do you think we're keeping it? In the fridge? Why? Traditionally speaking, that's where it goes. Where's the kitchen? Where's the fridge? In the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Traditionally, you should have access to that if you're paying rent, right?
But you don't.
But I don't. And it's just like weird bullshit that we don't have to get into. But it's funny how it's like oddly crippling, you know? It's like, oh, stop eating Taco Bell, you silly little goose. It's like,
I know it's not that simple.
It isn't. It isn't.
But at the same time, it's like, I think that we can sometimes create our own victimhood of why we're in situations.
Sure.
Or justification for why we can't do something, right? And it's like you just said, it's like ultimately you could figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out a roommate. You could figure you have enough support now. You could
You're right.
Get a fridge. You could get a little stovetop in your you could.
Right. I could. And yet I choose to do what I choose to do.
Right.
Which is indicative of where I think, hopefully, where I think I'm best played, which is, hey, I think I can stomach, no pun intended, but I think I can stomach some shitty food for a bit. I think I can stomach this poor diet for the time being while I get other affairs in order that will, like a domino effect, take care of it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna put my time in here. I'm gonna put my time in with my crew and make videos over there. And I'm just gonna put my time in there. I'm not gonna put my time in to finding a fucking roommate, to fucking deal with some psycho fuck, right? And some other shit fuck predicament where, oh, I have a fridge now, but guess what? There's some other bullshit I gotta fucking deal with. And if I'm over here focusing on taking care of all the tiny little nuances of just bullshit, I'm just going to be some fucking dude that does that. And my day-to-day, my concern is that, my focus is that, my goal and aim is that, you know, I'll get done a bunch of bullshit. And it'll be nice as far as bullshit goes, but it's like, how about I just stomach the bullshit, deal with the fucking bullshit, and really focus on things that's going to actually lead a bigger impact. You're right. It's like short term, take care of the bullshit. Long term, alleviate myself from even having to. Right? Like, hey, all these little tiny nuances I talked about go the fuck away as long as I'm financially stable, right? Like, boom, right? And that might have to do with budgeting and whatnot, but like really it's kind of like access to cash flow. Really, like I can keep getting these jobs that probably will like demand more, right? It's like, go get a job and what? Get like a student loan debt, right? And like weird, I can't bankruptcy out of that. It's with you forever. And so it's like, oh, you make more money, but you pay more money. Right. And your standard of living, I would love to see the ratio that is to people in like student debt, right? Student loan debt. I'd love to see the ratio that is to like how much more money they're making income wise to actually to how much they're saving.
Right.
Right. So it's like on paper, their quality of living is better. It's like, I have a car now and it goes faster. And it's like, yeah, but what are your bills? Like, what's your rent?
Yeah.
Right. How much are your food costs? Like, please tell me everything.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I want to see that ratio because I'm hearing some scary shit that just seems like, man.
Well, it's debt to income ratio. Is that what you're talking about?
I guess so. Not too fluent with it, but that sounds about right. Yeah. Debt to income ratio. But yeah, I'd like to see exactly. I'd like to see that ratio compared to like from and like before and after, obviously. That's the comparison. But it's like, did you take all that time and focus to simply elevate yourself 2 degrees and still in the fucking toilet bowl, but you're just not submerged in the shit water, but you're still fucking in the toilet bowl? Or did we actually remove you from the bathroom entirely? Are you in an actual better place? Like that you want to be in? That's not better than before. It's like, sure, I'll take a knife instead of a gun wound. But like there's both wounds in my eyes. They're both undesirable. I wouldn't want them. I would not want to be a nurse. I love helping people. I have a call to help people. I have a fucking like $200 medical thing in the trunk of my car. Why? Because the idea of being available like that, having the tools, is a necessity for a stranger, not for me. For what family? I don't have a fucking family, right?
What do you have in your car?
A crazy big first aid kit.
Oh,
because the idea of helping people is just it's so important to me, right? I would never be a nurse. I would never be a doctor. Why? Because in my head, it is an it's like that is what consumes you. And it's not even like, oh, the pay's not that good. It's just like, whoa, you want me to go to school for how long, get into how much student debt, and then you want me to work these hours?
I think it's all relative. I feel like you're making it too simplistic.
How so?
I think that when young people go to school, they don't always know what they want to do. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so sometimes a young person goes to school and they put themselves in debt. A lot of people do.
I was going to say probably most by and large, 9 out of 10.
A lot of people.
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it happens. And I was fortunate when I went back to school and got my MBA, I was able to pay it right away. As soon as I graduated, I paid it. And that is not everybody's situation. As a matter of fact, my mom didn't pay hers until like recently, and
How old is
she's
she?
72.
Okay.
And I was like ready to kind of intervene, but my mom's has a lot of pride.
Isn't that crazy though? Doesn't that fucking like bother you in
I know,
like a really
because I didn't want her to have that debt.
No, just but
Right.
but why is that debt accessible? Why do schools cost that much?
It's
No, like
and she was a single mom,
but
and
like
she was doing it.
think about what that inherently means.
Right.
In order for you to pay for the education to become the thing, you will work through it to pass like almost to the point of your death.
Right.
What the fuck does that mean?
It's crazy.
I find that unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. I agree with you. And that's why I think a lot of universities like overseas, and they're shifting things to be free or cheap. I mean, Hunter's looking at going to school in Spain, and it's so cheap comparatively.
It's
right?
free in Norway.
Oh, if there's plenty of places that have it free. And actually, if he there's something he could do to get it free. So it's a whole different ballgame over there. We in the US, we try to monetize everything. There's certain things that are wonderful and great about the US, but when it comes to taking advantage of people when they're getting educated with medicine, all of that, we kind of blow it. When we suddenly are paying people to run prisons I mean, think about Parker got crutches the other day because he hurt himself, right? Those crutches are like $1,000.
How are those crutches $1,000?
It's ridiculous.
How are those crutches $1,000?
They're not, but they drive up the price, right? And then everybody's trying to get a cut. And so,
do you think, sorry to cut you off, but do you think people in the 50s were fiscally responsible? Or do you think they literally just were like, any job will do and it'll be more than enough. I can afford a house, afford a family, afford dumb fucking decisions.
Yeah.
And still put away money in the bank only because I couldn't find any more stupid fucking decisions to blow it on. That's how much money they might make in comparison.
I'm just saying the system is broken. I agree with you.
I know,
the
but
system is broken in a lot of ways.
It's like, do we keep curating ourselves to fit the fucked up system? Or do we fucking like put our foot down and change the system? Because this is just wrong. We shouldn't have indentured servitude to have access to the same level of education that the entire world has.
Right.
It's fucking stupid. It's wrong.
So I agree with everything you're saying. That is true. We shouldn't.
Yeah.
We should do better.
It's like, I should collect more coupons. That way I can be a slave to go to college.
I think what I really want like young people to understand, especially like given the current political climate, who is benefiting? It's always coming back to who is benefiting, right? So private corporations,
right?
The oligarchy, all these people are benefiting,
right,
from people's pain.
Yeah.
And I mean pain and financial pain.
Yeah.
And and our government is doing nothing about it.
Oh no, it's doing something about it. It's helping them. Well, it's giving them the advantage. It's giving them the all the leeway to make these rules, obfuscate the truth, make it incredibly hard for us to investigate, for us to call it out. Right. There's no checks and balances to which the regulators aren't the same people that need to be regulated.
Right. It's like when you look at it, like how bad the infrastructure is across our country, like bridges and roads,
oh my God.
Right? Like how awful it is. And then you look at these other countries and you just go, how is this?
How do we pay this much to live here when you guys don't take care of here?
Right.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, where is
fucking
it going?
idiots. Dude.
Anyways, I mean, that's a tangent for another day. What I really want to get at here is that we as a society are creating a next generation of people that don't want to participate because they feel the system is rigged.
Yeah.
That's one. The other is that college doesn't look as interesting to them, right? Education. But that's a place where I'll tell you from experiences in community, whether it was community college or when I went to business school, that I learned so much from the interactions, from the debate, from the reading, the material. It's not that you agree with everything your professor says, but it makes you have to think. It makes you have to create an argument either way. Your professor comes in and says, this is how it is. This is what I think. This is what historically happens here. And then you have to sit there and go, okay, how do I take this information? How do I do my research myself? And then how do I like distill all that down into this paper? Right. And people are not learning that skill. I remember when Hunter was in high school, I would be like, well, what are you writing right now? What are you working on? And I would look at his paper and I'm like, the grammar is horrible. Oh, they don't care about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? They don't care about that. And he was right. Like she had kind of given up on the kids to have great grammar and punctuation. And it's funny because I got a girlfriend texted me the other day and she thought she texted me one thing and I read it completely different because there was no punctuation. There was no comma. There was no period. There's no question mark. I didn't know what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I think like communication is breaking down in certain ways. And so for young people, having that happen, I don't feel like they want to participate in politics because they don't believe in it. And if you don't have a next generation who wants to build businesses, educate themselves, and get into politics, then government breaks down.
Here's another question I pose to you. What happens when you have a predecessor generation that's currently installed, currently compromising all system functionality?
Right.
Do you go, man, this next generation is just a bunch of lazy bones? Or do you go, wow, their eyeballs fucking work?
Right.
They see a fucking nightmare. But, hey, wait, let's talk about this.
I don't think that their eyeballs don't work. I don't think that that's the problem.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to put it like that. I'm trying to say the reason I said that was I was trying to say, okay, I'm pitting what I just said against what you just said. What do you think has more of a fucking impact here? Who's coming in and what they perceive, or who's currently in it and what they're doing to it, and the ramifications that are going to exist past them. Right? It's like, oh man, you could have made a change hypothetically. It's like, yeah, and you know what they did actually? Like, I'm not going to be one of those people that blames the boomer generation for fucking the economy, but it's like, is it really my generation's lazy bones not saving the economy, or is it the motherfuckers that fucked it up?
So I agree with you in certain ways. I think that it's not, when I look at you boys, when I look at my boys, I don't feel like it's your fault. I don't feel like, oh, these young kids are just lazy. I actually think it's as parents coming off of like, for me specifically, like Gen X and the whole system at play, we have put our kids in front of screens. They're not having the same conversations. Like, I'll give you an example. Grandpa Jamie, right? He's 78. When him and I talk like about my childhood or about his childhood, so much of his upbringing was his dad was a public, I think public defender. And he was a part of the local temple. He started the temple in their town.
Mm-hmm.
And so every weekend they would have dinner parties. People would talk about art and theater, politics, and he would be there. He would be a part of the conversation. He'd be sitting there watching, listening, maybe not, kids back then, maybe not as much participating, but he would actively be listening to what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And so he learned a lot about how to be in a conversation, how to interact with your community. because he wasn't sitting here like this on a screen the whole time while they're having a dinner party and he's just like watching the reels, right? And so, unfortunately, you can blame the parents, you can blame society, you can blame the people that started the technology companies. You can blame, there's always a blame game, right? You can blame all those people and go, well, that's their fault. Your kids were raised this way. We raised these kids in front of a screen. They have not been taught how to critically think in the same way. You can say that. And at some point, you have to go, okay, that is true. What are we going to do about it? And it has to happen on both sides. We as parents and adults and boomers and Gen X have to admit that we participated in this. We were part of the problem. And we can help be part of the solution. And young people have to say, there's a problem here too. And they want to fix it.
I think it's way more complicated than that. I think it's like, so there's let's say there's two generations, mine and yours.
Sure.
Are you in a political position of power? No. Maybe you take advantage of some of the policies from people that are implementing these policies because they are in the political positions of power.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe. Whatever. Look at my generation. Maybe you got some kids that are disenfranchised, probably most of us. Maybe you got some kids that are like, you know what, I'm going to change around. Good for them. I hope they do it. Right? Mm-hmm. Before I go further, I'd say there's a difference between the blame game and picking a target. Right? Because at one point, we can keep giving them vitamins. But when the virus, when the disease, the infection, whatever it is, negates any good that it would do, but with your selection of like what you're putting into, it's not being received, it's not being implemented. And it's like, I'm sure, look at you, you're not in a political position of power. Oh my God, I'm shocked to admit you're willing to be open-minded and admit the truth. You know what I mean? What if your job is to compromise the system, wouldn't you be compromising your job to acknowledge it? And who do you think we need to acknowledge it more? You or someone who's there? Right?
Sure.
You know?
We do need that. But I think that I think it starts, and we've seen this historically, is like you have to have people rise up. And so it doesn't matter if it's just me, the simple person. Like you said, I have a mic. Maybe I reach a few more people. I think the more that we're willing to speak up and advocate for change collectively, we will be able to make more change. I'm not saying I have as much power as a politician, obviously.
No, I didn't mean to imply that.
Right. No, I don't think you implied that. But I just wanted to reiterate, though, is that, yes, that is true that politicians hold a lot of the power. But we can collectively hold more power. And I think people have gotten complacent and very, fat and happy. It's like people fat and happy. You ever hear that?
Yeah. I've the analogy of the Roman circus, well aware.
And it's kind of like that. It's like everybody's got you got a spouse, you got your phone, we're got enough. We have enough. We have food, right? And we don't have to, and the discomfort of thinking about challenging societal norms, I think is really difficult for people because people get very comfortable and they don't want to have conflict. And this is something where you have to head straight on and have conflict with something. I mean, think about why people ghost each other now, why people don't call, they just text. Because people don't want to have interactions like this. They don't want to have face-to-face interactions that might be uncomfortable.
Well, what's the payoff when the system's compromised? Like, I understand that
Well, you just want to throw up your arms and just quit?
No, I'm saying our resources are finite, including time, focus, power, all these things. So we should apply them appropriately. And I don't think the idea that just keep taking your fucking vitamins when the system itself is compromised is going to do anything other than waste fucking time and vitamins.
So what do you think would work?
I think cleaning house and not advocating, implementing a fucking more transparent system. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit.
So what system do you think is out there that could be that?
All emails should be public access. If you were in a political position of power of any kind.
What if something's top secret?
What if something's top secret?
Yeah, like what if something could compromise our...
Then wouldn't that have to do with national security?
Yes.
And not civil policy?
Sure.
Sure. So then we don't gotta worry about that.
So you're saying for like national security, fine.
Yeah, kind of like how it's always been. We don't say everyone can access our secret agents.
It comes back for me to like values and ethics. And I look at what's happened with just when I watch social media, and I have gotten into, I try to get onto the manosphere, I like started clicking on things so that it'll shift my algorithm a little bit. And it was crazy to me because I feel like I saw all these young people, men and women, and they seemed to be putting things out there that were just all about capturing attention versus adding to, like, being a good person, adding to society, helping people grow. It was these moments of just disgustingness.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Where they would talk bad about a group, talk bad about each other, make each other look like idiots, showcase how
that just sounds like politics, the modern era politics.
But I'm saying, but except for on social media, right? And it's like these are things that everybody's viewing. Young people are viewing this every single day. But where are they getting taught to make good choices, help out their community, help each other out, communicate face to face? All of those things, I think that this is society the way it is right now, government the way it is a reflection of how our culture is shifted in technology.
I think the culture is a reflection of the society at the legislative, like at the political level. It's like, oh man, people.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
That's what I'm saying right now. And I'm telling you, it's the fucking legislation that came first. The community that was established in the town that got its name after the country was founded. Yeah, the Bill of Rights and all that stuff, that came first. There's your egg. This is the chicken.
Right.
And I think that's self-evident.
I mean, I guess I would kind of counter a little bit with modern technology and the way things have shifted with that.
Sure, but nonetheless,
who wins from that and the motivation behind that.
I think you're asking, so you asked who's teaching? Role models teach. Who are role models? They're people. People where? People in society. Society molds people.
Mentors. Right. I don't think there's enough mentors.
Sure, but I also don't think there's room for mentors. I don't think we're growing mentors. I don't think we're breeding mentors. I think we're breeding opportunists. I think we're breeding thieves and fucking charlatans.
But I think that's so this is part of the problem. And this is the part of the problem for you moving forward as an adult, which is like, there's this echo chamber that you see right now of all of this negativity, right? You see these charlatans, and these are people who are doing bad things and this. And there's a lot of beauty too in the world. And so how do you get young people to see the beauty too and not just see all this terrible shit that's happening?
If there's a world war going on, but there's a beautiful painting next to you.
That's not the same thing.
I'm asking, if there's beauty in front of you, but there's a calamity around you, what are you going to pay attention to? Look, as a fair question, I think the current state of our society, and at least the direction it's heading in, is fucking apocalyptic. It is calamity.
But the thing is why do you think that?
If you want to blame that technology.
If you were not on technology at all, you never looked at any of these reels, any of these memes, any of these things that are going on.
Okay.
Never watched news.
Okay.
And you just did your day-to-day life.
And all I did was my day-to-day life. And I go, damn, how come I make X amount of money for X amount of time in a finite day with 24 hours in it? How come all the prices of my groceries? How come rent? How come all the prices are going up? I'd go, what the fuck is wrong with these policies? What the fuck is wrong with our economy?
You might feel that way.
And I wouldn't take technology for that. It'd be the fact that I exist in a place that's hard to exist, and it shouldn't be this hard to exist.
I will just tell you that they've done research on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when people remove those mechanisms, they get less anxious. It's not that the world around them is still not happening. They could still be like, yeah, I'm broke. This thing is happening. But the level of anxiety and apocalyptic feelings they have inside shifts.
Sure, but like
Maybe
that's going to be like my tone upon the opportunities in front of me. That'll be the impact of my anxiety. But the fact of the opportunity that it was presented in front of me, that would be a direct reflection of society itself, right? And so it's like, oh man, I might be a bit more anxious about the lack of anything in front of me, optimistic. But is that because of my anxiety, or is that due to the fact that the system in place, our societal systems that are in place, the taxing, the education,
sure,
all the utility, all the infrastructures that's meant to be a cohesive environment, our habitat, right? And it's meant to play into itself. It's meant to pay into itself, and it's supposed to be a beautiful thing, and it's supposed to work, and it's compromised, and it's failing, and it's self-evident. And technology might be like echo chambering that it is what it is, more than it is, apparently.
I think it's more than it is. I think it's more than it is. I think it is. There's shittiness out there. There's always going to be shittiness out there. Life is shitty. Like life is suffering. We learn this in Buddhism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is always going to be that element.
What does it tell you about suffering?
There was always going to be that element. There's always going to be somebody taking advantage. There always is going to be corruption. You look at history, you're going to see it across the board.
Yeah.
No matter what. But that doesn't take away from the other side too, right? That you're always going to have that too. What you're telling me is that you feel like it's out of balance, that
yes.
the light and the dark is out of balance.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I guess my question would be, is that actually true? Or are we making it true with our technology and the way that we are marketing this apocalyptic world? Or is it actually true? I'm not saying either one. What I'm saying is understand why you feel the way you do and understand what you want to change in your world so that you can live another day. Because if you live in this place of it's apocalyptic, everything sucks, then that'll be your world. And that's good. How are you going to move forward? Is there a rebellion company coming and you're just going to be a part of this rebellion and everything sucks? I don't want a family. I don't want a life that looks like whatever you have to decide for yourself.
I think
to find a balance.
But do I just do that by myself? Just do I take day by day, I take one more step into a disenfranchised game I do not want to play anymore in a system that doesn't serve me. And I take day by day. I'm an optimist, so I turn around and I go, I'm gonna make this place a little bit better by better, even though it gets completely outrun by how they're making it worse but day by day. And I don't understand.
You're taking all power out of your hands, though.
No, I'm not. I'm acknowledging my power and I'm acknowledging theirs. I can control my attitude and I can control like the way I react to things.
Right.
That's about fucking it.
Right.
There's people that control where the money flow goes. Do I control the money flow goes? Do I?
No, but
is there people that do?
Absolutely.
Would you say that's a difference of power?
I would say that's a difference of power, but I think that you could have what you want in life still.
Well, but I have to go around that though. I have to go around that. You
are always going to have to contend with certain levels of power, whether money, power, corruption, the system, a broken system. You're always going to have to deal with that. And so it's really how you decide to play the game. And life is about choices. And you can say, hey, here's how I can show up for Kenda. Here's how I can show up for Parker. Here's how I could show up for myself. Here's how I could show up for my partner, my kid. It's not about pretending that that doesn't exist. All of that will still exist. But if I live there, how am I supposed to show up for you? How am I supposed to show up for Brian as a wife? How am I supposed to show up for the kids as a mom?
The same way you do anything else when it's a rainy day. Suck it up.
It's not just about that. It's about I have to find the things that give me purpose, the things that give me joy, the things that inspire me, create. Like I still get to do all those things, right? I get to create that world for myself.
Sure.
And I still know that all this other stuff exists. And I can do things, I can do little things here and there to make my voice heard, right? I can I can donate to different causes. I can show up to a march. I can reach out to my local government. There's things I can invest in. Like, for example, the other day I saw something about they're going to decrease funding for the arts in our town. To me, arts are so important because it is a creative outlet and it gives me joy. And I know it gives children joy and our community joy. And you need to teach people about art and culture. It's an important part of history for me. It's not for everybody. It's not going to be everybody's thing. But I reached out because I think it's important that we fund the arts. And I'm willing to say something about it, to donate to it, and to be a part of that, right? So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right. There is a lot of that going on. And I feel like what you're saying is how a lot of young people feel. And I don't want to take that away.
I don't want to make it like, it sounds like you have tears. It sounds like you got you're like holding back tears right now. Am I being too intense?
No, it just makes me very sad for you and for young people, because if young people are so angry, if they're so caught up.
Dispossessed is the right word.
Well,
we fucking are
disenfranchised. I get it. I get it. I really do.
And I get these beautiful things that if we had the Zen Buddhist teaching.
It's not even the Zen Buddhist teaching.
Well, the point is that there's a better way to look at it, but like free will.
Right.
And I'm not trying to interrupt you and say you're wrong. I'm trying to tell you,
right,
there's a reason we're not looking at it like that.
Right.
And it's because I probably am not educated enough. I probably don't have the skills to really nail it on the head. But I'm just saying, if your gut instinct is that I'm the like-minded, it's like we're not lacking the idea of maybe we should be more optimistic. We're lacking any faith that that's even worthwhile. Like, that's probably not the first time we've heard that idea, Kenda. It's a beautiful idea.
I think that, so the thing that's hard for me, and it makes me incredibly sad for you and for anybody, is like, if you live there, you can't really move forward because you're trapped in a narrative that this is how it is and it's always going to be this way and it's going to suck. And you know what I'm trying to say, my point is that we all kind of live in the same space. We have this shared reality and we can still view that as different, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
we can interpret it as different. We can, I guess, interpret.
And it's kind of like what we were just talking about, which is I try to go out there, and I stopped reading the news last year. I spend a lot less time on social media, on my computer. If something is important, it'll come to me, right? Because like when something big happens on the national stage, international stage, Brian will say something to me. My friends will say something to me. It'll be a conversation. So I hear things, I get involved with it, I understand what's going on. However, when I sit there every morning and read the news, it's like apocalyptic. I'm like, the world is ending. Are we moving to Portugal? And
everyone who's in power shouldn't be in power.
Right.
They're out to get you,
Right.
and they work for like an enemy state, or at least your undoing because they hate you somehow.
Right.
Oh, and there's some people that are thinking you're a racist, and if you're not on that side, then there's some people thinking you're a sexist, and if you're not on that side, well, fuck you anyways. Someone hates you. I promise you, someone hates you for what you stand in. And by the way, this is what you stand for now, and if you don't, and it's like, what's the weather?
It's funny you say that because when we've been watching the World Cup, right? And Parker plays soccer, and he will be like, the ref. And Brian's like, don't talk about the ref. Don't ever complain about the ref. And he says, the ref is like the weather. Like, it just is. It's going to be blue skies. It's going to be rainy. Like, don't sit there and complain about the weather. Don't complain about the ref.
That's crazy. Because I get the analogy, but I'm like, how could you put it on the referee? That motherfucker's real, and the weather's real. But like, yeah, that's I can tell that's wiser than I'm willing to admit. I can tell that that's most likely true, and I just don't get it. But I'm over here like I'm hung up. I'm like,
Well, I
Fuck
mean,
him.
so easy
Like-
to be like, oh, the ref is wronging.
Yeah.
You know,
He's got a face. The weather doesn't have a face.
you've been a ref, right?
Yeah.
In volleyball. So it's like,
I was never wrong though. No, kidding. Wrong all the time.
so it's like the weather. It's like, don't complain about it. There's nothing you can do to change it. You know, it is what it is.
Oh, I won't argue.
Yeah.
But I found my angle to which I would.
Your loophole. I mean, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's like, you know, if you're, I mean, like with the World Cup, if you really have seen, now they can look at everything, replay it. If you disagree, your coach can go and say, hey, do a replay. But, but I mean, but at the end of the day, like when you're in kids soccer, it's like, don't bitch about the ref.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if it's just a game and the game's not for you and there's other games out there, just go try out a different game. Maybe you'll have more fun. Unfortunately, when we apply it to society and our politics, it's the only game that can be played. And if you're not in, you're out, and there's no surviving that. You'll be out on your own,
right.
And you'll be in a situation that's basically just going to bulldoze over your ass, get the program, or get fucking asphalted, motherfucker.
Anyways.
You're right. We're happy. We get along.
Everything's great.
Everything's so great. Everything's so fucking fantastic, Kenda. I can barely contain myself.
It is fantastic. There's a lot of amazing things happening in your life.
There are.
There's a lot of amazing things happening in my life. I guess the thing is like, we get to experience our lives, and then there's this other part what's happening from outside of us.
Yes, the world is bigger than us.
You can only change yourself and how you interact with the world.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And hopefully,
what do you have control over?
You can only control yourself, and you can influence the world around you.
Right.
At best. Right.
Best.
And so, yeah, I'd like to somehow figure out my Peter Pan complex and all my other fucking insecurities and become something that isn't just a good role model, but an attractive one. I want to be someone that I don't have to preach and say, this is how you should do it. And if you don't, consequences. I want to walk by and somehow have such an air of success, whether it be socially or whatever, that people, regardless of any age, gender, or creed, look at me and say, huh,
right,
I like that. And I think it's worth emulating. And then maybe they do, right? Like, that would be awesome. That would be amazing, right?
Given that, it's like, do you want somebody who's trying to emulate you, who's going, the world is apocalyptic and everybody is corrupt and it sucks? Or do you want somebody who goes, you know what? All these things can be true, and I'm going to go fight for what I believe in. I'm going to go take care of my body. I'm going to take care of my partner, my child, my whatever. And I'm going to go out there and give it 100% every day and come in with a good attitude and be that. I want to be joy for Parker when he wakes up. Sure. I want to go tickle him and giggle with him, you know. And if I come in and I go, I just looked at the news, God, another fucking bullshit. You know, I can't be that.
You're right. But, you know, you also have to be realistic.
You have to be realistic. But I think that that's an interesting thing that you just said, because I look at my husband's mother, and a lot of times she tells her grandson, who she's mostly raised, be realistic. Here's where you go, the kind of job you can have, all this stuff. And realistic is different for different people. You create limits by saying, this is what is realistic for me, right? Sure. If I would have said, what is realistic for me is, I grew up broke. We lived in a van for a little while. My parents were hippies. I remember my mom in our car, like scraping out change to get gas. If I would have gone off of my upbringing and said, this is what is realistic for me, then I would have never done anything.
Well, I think it's realistic that you might have a low probability of success in a certain outcome.
Sure.
And I think there's a difference between similar and probable and realistic.
Right. But I thought
similar to remain in poverty. I think it'd be probable to remain in poverty. But is it realistic that you'll only remain in poverty? Fuck no.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people believe, like, when I talk to him, Brian's nephew, he says, like, well, this is what is realistic for me, this type of job, this thing. And if you believe that, then that's true.
Well, I think there's utility in fleshing it out with words. So like maybe the guy's like, this is what's realistic for me. And as he's saying it out loud, he realizes there's something erroneous about his statement. And then he goes to correct it. And then he becomes more precise and maybe he becomes more lethal.
But do you think he's doing that?
I don't know.
You don't know. And I'm saying that I see him and I see other young people create these narratives, these stories for themselves about what is realistic. Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, like, from personal experience, I have always, like you said, I consume obstacle. Mm-hmm. I have always believed that
unrealistically
to other people that I could pretty much do whatever I want to do. And I go out and do it. And people all the time are like, you can't do that. And I'm like, watch me, you know? I went to business school without a bachelor's. I got an MBA and I have no bachelor's. Everybody was like, that's impossible. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And I talked to the dean and I had experience in work. And I said, hey, I've got 2 kids. I had, at that time, they were little. And I was a single mom. And I didn't have a lot. I had a business I was running and I had put everything into that. And I was like, look, I only have so much time every week to put into school because I have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. I, have this business to run.
You got constraints.
I have constraints. And so I did the executive MBA. I went every 3 weeks to Santa Clara. I went to Pepperdine. So they had a cohort in Northern California. And I would drive over the hill and 2 days, every 3 weeks, I would go and do that. And I got my MBA. I ultimately accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
And I would say those are some unrealistic heights that you attained, and very impressive so.
But they're not unrealistic.
I would say they were improbable, that the realistic chances were low, right? But what you did was awesome, right? And I guess fine, let's not call it realistic, but I would say that what you did was you achieved heights, right? And I think there's nothing wrong. I think it'd be regretful not to sometimes chase after heights and go, I don't care if it's unrealistic. If that seems that way to you, I don't care if it's low probability. Yeah. I'm going to shoot for the moon. I'm going to chase my dreams, right? Dreams.
Yeah.
And that's heights. Let's say depths. Let's say depths though, real quick. Let's say depths, right? Mm-hmm. Like for example, it'd be an unrealistic depth, not paying your rent. You take care of your kid, you go to work, you put food on the table, you feed everyone's happy, you do your laundry, you mow the grass, but you don't pay your rent.
Right.
Now it's a long shot, but maybe your landlord forgets that you exist. And it's a long shot.
A long shot.
And most people say Kenda, you're fucking insane. There's no way he's going to forget. But guess what? Alzheimer's is a friend of mine. He forgot. Like, no, kidding. But like, the idea is, it's like, you know what the consequences of you shooting for the stars and you failing? You living a life without regret. That's a funny consequence. But the consequence of you not paying your rent and delusionally so, unrealistically so, right? Like, and that's why I'm trying to take it back to like my perception.
Right.
Of the reality at hand, of the political, of the social, like the economical landscape, the social, everything about the future is.
But how do you change your future? And like me going to business school helped change my trajectory, right? Being able to have an MBA helps you get jobs.
Sure.
And so I'm not saying that that's the answer for everybody. What I'm saying is that I had a mentor when I was younger, and he said to me, if you don't ask, they can't say no. And so everything I kind of did past that point was like, I'm going to ask. I'm just going to try.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people stop, they don't try because they think they're going to fail. And it's like, yeah, I might have failed. I might not have had this story. I might not have gotten my MBA. That is a true possibility. But out of the hundreds of things that I have tried, maybe 50% happened, right? Like I pushed it. I tried something new. There was risk in it not working out. It's like 50-50. But That's a lot more success than if I had never tried. So I'm just saying, go out there and try, take some risks.
Yeah, when it comes to, like, individual personal prospects, sure, but when it comes to, like, the society that I vote, that I pay taxes
Yeah, but I
into,
live in that same society.
I know you do, but what you talked about to me seemed like a personal endeavor versus a societal one.
I guess the thing is, Kylen, that you get to decide where you wanna focus your attention.
You're right, that's why I choose to, like, not look at this at all, because I look in what I see and what I think people that are like-minded me see, there's nothing I can do about it, and that's
Right.
kind of what you're saying, is there's nothing you can really do about it, and it's been there before, so just, like, focus on the brighter things, and it's like, yeah, but at one point, it doesn't go away.
It's not necessarily focused on the brighter things. What it is that I need to it's not about like, "Rah, rah, be positive all the time." That's not what I mean. What I mean is that where I can help, I do. I see you struggling. I go, "You know what? I can help this person." I see Hunter's friend, grew up with not a lot. He just graduated. He got into like top schools. I mean, really brilliant guy and came from nothing. Got into Berkeley and all, and didn't have a lot. And he said he wanted to do Camino with Hunter. So I flew him over to meet Hunter, and so he could do the Camino with Hunter. I can do that. That's something small I can do to change this person's experience. There are things you can do that is not about me. It's not about like spending money doing this, this, and this. It's not about me saving.
Is it about the change, though? Is it about the change that it will bring?
It's about the change it'll bring for him.
Okay.
It's about the experience. It's about him seeing something outside of California, about him going to Europe when he's never been to Europe. It's about him seeing architecture and history and art and getting in touch with himself. That there's a beauty in that. And it's like,
Also a lot of luxury.
and can I offer you that moment of reprieve? And, I look at when Hunter first did the Camino a few years ago, he didn't have his phone for 2 weeks. We took it away. And his anxiety dropped, his stress dropped. He had all these little ticks. His ticks went away. And I feel like all these things are true. Like there is shitty things. People say shitty things. If he had his phone, he'd be seeing it all the time, right? And what he got was a reprieve. He got to go and walk, 16 to 20 miles a day. He got his body moving. He got to meet new people. He had new experiences.
Yeah.
And he got to lower the stress and say, wow, there's a lot of beauty out here.
Beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing. Having, what's his name, get to go to the Camino with him right now.
Beautiful
He gets to go see that. All right. Think about your life in the past year. You got your teeth done.
Beautiful thing.
You have your anxiety probably a little bit,
Yeah.
even though you're not rich, but you have more money now. It's consistent. You're taken care of. Doesn't that lower a certain amount of your daily stresses?
You're right. Does that change the global impact, the societal impact that I still live in, have to deal with every day? That when I have dreams and I want to make changes with my sentience and my free will, and I think and I imagine the future, there's a landscape and there's a horizon, and that's real. And it's not about whether that it being real is important. A real factor to that, and what I see and what I envision with my creativity, with my free will, is actually being molded, I'd say molested, by societal forces, political powers. And while your boy was on the Camino.
So tell me more about that. Why is it all these powers are like, show me or tell me how they're affecting you?
Okay. I want a family.
Okay.
They're going to require a house.
Right.
That house is going to cost money.
Right.
How much money? An unrealistic amount, an unobtainable amount? For who? For what job? What job can I get? Will I need a degree?
But why is
the degree cost?
But how is that the government?
How is the economic situation tied to the government?
Well, I mean, okay, you can go into like the economics, but you could find a job, you could find something. So I'm just wondering, how is that impacting you directly?
I'll be fine, hopefully.
Well,
but it's even assuming that I am.
right.
What about them?
I guess here's what I can say about that. Because I think this is what a lot of people struggle with. And when you're young, there is a lot of this feeling inside of like, I can't change this. You feel powerless in a certain way. That is a very normal experience for young people, right? Throughout history, young people feel like, what can I possibly change?
Yeah, they're more potential than power, probably.
Yeah, it's a very powerless feeling because you haven't achieved yet. You're
No.
still, so there's that. I think the other part is that everybody has their causes, right? Everybody has their things. My girlfriend is vegan because she wants to protect animals. Another girlfriend of mine is vegetarian. It's like another girlfriend of mine, she has an organization that goes into impoverished areas all over the world and gives micro, not loans, like grants to women in these impoverished communities where they can create crafts and then sell them in the US so that they can take care of their kids, educate their kids, all that kind of stuff. That's her passion. That's her thing. People are all going to have their thing. Hopefully, most people give back in a certain way. I have a friend over here who she volunteers with junior guards all the time and she gives all she can to the kids, right? As we talked about, there's shitty things happening. But there's also people that are giving. There's people that give of themselves. They mentor, they donate, they give their time. We all have to show up in community, right? We all have to show up in a certain way.
Or else what?
Well, then that's the breakdown, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I see that. But I choose to see that people are innately good. Like,
I say by and large, even if what they consider to be good isn't what I consider,
right.
I see them considering as good and I see them being driven forward the same way I am towards my idea of good.
Right. The people are innately good and it feels good to take care of people. It feels good to go outside of yourself.
Yeah.
And go, you know what? Like,
it feels better than any pleasure I could solely experience.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me going on a trip to England is not as fun as taking all of you boys and letting you guys and watching it through your eyes as you experience a new city, a new meal, a new, interaction. That was tons of fun for me to watch you guys have new experiences. It's fulfilling. If it was just me, it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
And so I just want you to keep sight of that. I want you to keep sight of we don't all have to have every cause. We don't all have to show up for every fight. We can pick our fights. We can pick our causes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you have a blind eye to things.
Yeah.
Right.
Pick and choose your battles.
Pick
wait
and choose
patiently.
your battle. Right.
The timing is everything. I completely agree.
That's where I want you to help you shift, because I see you go into these tangents about all the shittiness, the apocalyptic, the economic society, the breakdown, the corruption. And there's nothing about what you say that I don't agree with. I agree with everything you're saying. And I just don't want it to pull you away from the light side inside of you that sees the potential for yourself. And the more that you develop the potential in yourself, the more you create this man you want to be, the more you will be able to give to others, to give to causes you care about, and to fight for those things. Because you hold the power in that. You hold the power in here. It's just like you look at, who was it? Nelson Mandela, right? When he was in jail, he read all these books. He developed himself. He had this terrible situation. It would have been really easy to be like, I'm going to die in here. Everything sucks. The world is coming in on me. And he chose to live here,
Yeah, he chose to look at the light when he was in all that darkness.
Right. And I
to quell your fears. No, sorry, please continue.
The point is that I just don't want to see you sink into the darkness, nor do I want to see any young people sink into the darkness.
The darkness is just the environment around you. And your perception has a lot to do with that, but it's not really you sink into it. So whether or not you're consumed by it.
Well, that's it. I don't want to see you consumed by it.
I'm not going to be consumed by it. It had its chance. It failed miserably. And well, here's something beautiful. Yeah. Here's something poetic.
Yeah.
What's the only thing you can actually see when you're in absolute darkness? It's the only thing you could see, no matter how small.
Light.
That's fucking right. That might have been the case for Nelson Mandela. Hey, you want to stare at the wall with this bucket of piss? Or do you want to look at the one fucking chance you got? Oh, I wonder what was attractive at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm here right now.
Yes.
And I'm looking at you. And I'm talking to you.
Yes.
And lady, I know I might be unbelievable, but I think you should get to know me at this point. I'm fucking me. All right. And I'm not going to be consumed by some darkness. Now, I might be able to know where to go look to find some deep ass fucking pitch black darkness. I bet you do too, lady.
I've lived in darkness.
I don't think you haven't for a second. All right. My point is that just because I know where to go looking, and just because if you ask me, I can, and I'll tell you what I fucking see, doesn't mean that's where where you're gonna find me most of the time.
Right.
And I love you. Thank you so much, you wonderful woman. You wonderful woman. Thank you for being concerned about me. Thank you for extending your family unto me. It really feels that way. Right? You look after me the same way you try your hardest to look after this whole fucking community. I see you. You really are a great example of do what you can where you can. Like, I love you for that. Like, you're a great role model for that. Yeah, well, at least I'm making you cry for the right reasons right now. Jesus Christ, I'm making you cry this whole fucking time. Look, it's okay. If I don't look at this, it might be able to repeat itself again under my supervision. Right? I gotta know what I'm dealing with. I gotta understand the obstacles I'm not just avoiding, but I'm ultimately going to overcome. Eventually, I'll bide my time and I'll wait patiently. Do you see me marching in a protest, lady? I'm clearly not doing anything about it. All right. Like, I'm fucking over here just saying, if you had me look, I'll tell you, I'll call it as I see it. I promise. All right. And if it looks like shit, I could be more optimistic and says it has some fecal attributes, but I'm not certain. Or you could just have me quickly and concisely say, pretty sure it's a pile of shit.
Right.
Right. I'm going to do that because I'm honest. And I hope you can count on that. I'm still going to be optimistic. If anything, it's more incentive to stay towards the light. Look at absolute darkness. Oh, let's do anything else but that.
Right.
You know, like, don't worry about that. It's more so, I guess you should be worried about it when emotionally we lack the skills to digest the anxiety inside, because you're undeniably right for pointing at that and looking at that as if it's anything else than a fucking problem, because it is.
Right.
It is. What happens when someone can't be calm, cool, and collected? What happens when someone's pitched in survival mode, put in overdrive with no reprieve?
Right.
You're right there. All your fears will be actualized in those moments, right?
And I've been there.
Breaking point.
And that's why, because I've been there, you know, I've had those moments in life. I've had really hard moments. And I look back and I go, God, I wish I just had more support with managing my emotions around it, with being able to see the light, because it's very hard when you're in it.
Yeah.
And so when I look at you, I just want to make sure that you see that still, because there's moments where I see that you can fall into like, everything sucks, the world is ending.
I can.
Yeah.
Especially when prompted to. I'm an excessive man. I'll do anything a little too much. All right.
Right.
Man-child decision. Look, don't worry about that. At least for me, I'm someone that's like born from it. Like, that's like not worrying about a fish drowning. I'm just saying, you're worried about your fish gonna drown?
Right.
Like, sorry, honey, I'm fluent in it. It's not gonna happen. Like, don't worry about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I can only promise you me. I wish I could promise this for others, because I've lost too many, and I know that you really can't promise that for others, right? Yeah. But I can promise you for me that I will not give in and I will not succumb. I have already learned the consequences of trying. That's learned. That's a learned pain that I'm not going to go back there.
Right.
All right. I got too much pride and ego. I allocated all my arrogance and I said, fuck you, life. I'm not giving up. You fuck. and life's over there like not sentient at all. Maybe God is like, what are you doing? Calm down. Like, and I'm like, you won't win. You won't. Out of spite. I ain't going anywhere anytime soon. All right. And also because I am just a lazy son of a gun and I just want to play and have fun. And that doesn't look like fun. This looks like fun. So I'm going to play with you. And I'm sorry I make you cry, but just playing. It's all good.
All right.
All good. Are you all good?
I'm all good.
Are you all good?
Yes. I want to make sure that you're all good.
I'm fucking all good, lady. I'm all good. Sorry. I don't want to make you cry. Lady. You're a good lady.
Well, I think we're good today.
I'm glad we just talked. I feel like I could go in budget now.
I'm glad you learned how to budget.
I learned how to budget. Kenda's tears.
Oh,
I feel terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I did a bad thing today.